Hey guys, so we're back for the first match, and this is definitely a keep. We have all the lands to cast the things we want to cast, and I'm sure we'll draw more lands by the time we want to cast more things. So playing a deck with 28 lands, I believe, definitely has its perks. As we pass turn here. Temple of Enlightenment. So we're definitely playing against a control deck of some sort. It could also be that mono blue splash white deck, where they splash for Detention Sphere and a few copies of Afara. So I think I actually play Orzhov Guildgate here. The reason being, if we draw an Ultimate Price or Devour Flesh, we may want to play it. So that's something we need to think about. Ooh, a Bant Brew. I'm enjoying the looks of this one. Okay, so now we're back on track. We're going to be able to go Centaur Healer into a Ceruli Gatekeepers. Hopefully at some point we'll find a Maze's End, or a blue source in our evolution will find Maze's End. Something like that. So at this point he has to know that we're on the gate plan. Angelic Wall. That's just a online metagame dependent thing, I have a feeling. As the majority of the online metagame is hyper-aggressive decks. It doesn't really stop mono black control, although they may have enough control elements in their shell, whoever we're playing against, in order to get past that matchup. As mono black does a very good job at playing like the control deck against mid-range decks and the mid-range deck against aggro decks, but they're not very good at out-controlling control. Maybe post-board you can like manage your deck to do that. It's interesting, a Thassa and Angelic Wall. Alright. I don't know exactly what we're playing against, but it looks interesting. So we should just be able to gain a bajillion life, because he's not putting any pressure on us. Urban Evolution ourselves into a position to get to Maze's End, and then once we get to Maze's End, it should be pretty academic from there. So this kind of shows how the slow grinding matchups are pretty easy unless they have either a Pithing Needle in the main board or bring in Pithing Needle. If they have a Pithing Needle in the main board, they instantly become almost impossible. Like I'd have to start attacking with 2/4s and 3/3s, and that's not going to end up well. I do, however, have 16 points of burn in War Leader's Helix, so if they shock themselves a few times with a good draw, or maybe me getting in with a few creatures, I can sometimes get there. So, obviously going to Urban Evolution here, looking for a Maze's End. So at some point, I had Temples in this deck, because like everything's already coming into play tapped. But that was just not something I enjoyed having here. So we're just going to play 2 lands anyways, because why not? And I guess we're going to attack Jace, even though we're only going to hit Jace down to 4. Like, it doesn't make sense not to here. Thassa's going to become active soon, possibly, and that could be an issue for us. Especially if we don't get a Maze's End. Like, we have 6 gates on the field right now. A Maze's End would win the game almost instantly. It would only take a turn or 2. Luckily, we can out-life gain the Thassa. That could still be quite difficult. So we're going to get to Evolution again. Keeping up 2 lands. And then if we Evolution into an untapped land, we can play Centaur Healer. Right, so we are going to have to keep up like Orzhov Guildgate, Selesnya Guildgate, something like that. Or do we want to keep up Boros Guildgate, Selesnya Guildgate? Yeah, I think we want to keep up Boros Guildgate, Selesnya Guildgate in case we in case we draw like Swamp Dreadbore. Ooh, Gideon too. Wow, so this is a Bant Planeswalker's Brew if I've ever seen one. Yeah, so we drew the Sweet Maze's End, which we needed. And now we're going to be able to win the game pretty quickly from here, I would imagine. We're going to get to 7 gates, and then next turn... Oh, we don't get to 7. Well, that's a little annoying. So this is why we would have wanted to keep up the black land, but I thought that playing into a black land would have been better. I guess that was a calculated risk I took. So now, because of Gideon, I'm not going to attack at all. So at some point, we would like to draw another gate. Alright, so we have a third Urban Evolution, which is interesting. We can Evolution and Maze's End next turn, which we could possibly win. So we're going to get to 7. If we draw 2 new gates, that puts us at 8 and 9, and then we're on a 1-turn clock from there. He looks to be playing a controlling Banned Planeswalker's Brew, and that is just not going to be good against us. Yep. You can have all of them. I will give you all the cards if that's what you want. You can definitely bounce my Cerulean Gatekeepers back to my hand. I do not mind, I assure you. You can even play Kiora and attempt to release the Kraken. Release the Kraken! Dude, saying that makes me so happy. Oh my god. This is the one issue with playing this deck, is that sometimes your opponents play very slowly, like just trying to figure out how they're ever going to possibly beat you, and then you have to remind them that, like, they're not ever going to possibly beat you. They usually don't take super well to that, but... Oh well. So... Almost got there. Alright. So we're going to get our one of Simic Guildgate here. Alright, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we draw an independent Guildgate next turn... Yeah, if we draw an independent Guildgate next turn, we win. Okay, what do we need to get rid of? We can get rid of Gruul Guildgate at this point. That seems it's going to be just actually useless. Dreadbore also is not very useful here. It's useful against like Elspeth, because Elspeth puts a lot of pressure on you. When your opponent's just sitting back and dirtling, it's not doing too much. It's actually going to be an interesting deck to side against. I guess I want to bring Crackling Perimeter just in case they have Pithing Needle. No idea. Alright, so Cyclonic Rifts Cerulean Gatekeepers to my hand. I guess he's gonna then Kiora it and Gideon. So what is Gideon's ultimate? Exile all other permanents? Alright. Sounds good. Well, I'm glad that he's not getting to 15. So that I can actually win the lands. Alrighty. Again, he can have them all. None of those matter to me. Although I do like the use of Voyage's End. It's just like a bounce to get your Planeswalker shell going. And Thassa looks to be like occasionally turned on, but mostly for Scry. It's really interesting as well. Alright, so what are we going to do here? First, we are going to return this to our hand. And find the Guildgate we were looking for, which happens to be Izzet and Azorius. So I'll get an Izzet Guildgate, play a Maze's End, Dreadbore Gideon, because I don't want anything super wacky to go on right now. And then we're going to have 5 mana, so we can... I guess we just play a Centaur Healer and have Ultimate Price or Pharikis Cure up. Is that correct? I don't know. I mean, I obviously could have sequenced a lot better. I'm just not sure that the sequencing matters at this point. We can ditch the forest, because that's not going to come up at all with us replaying Maze's End every turn. So we're definitely in the spot to win this game. If suddenly a Pithing Needle happens, then I believe we die, but it's probably the only situation in which we die here. Although, I mean, theoretically, we could just play like Centaur Healers, Ceruli Gatekeepers, Ultimate Price, Farika's Cure his stuff, and like put some pressure on him. We would still then have to draw the like multiples of our World Leader Helixes, although that's not out of bounds. So this is going to turn on Thassa. Yep, Thassa's definitely going to be turned on here. I guess he gave it unblockable, maybe? No, he played the Temple tapped, sorry. That was some scrying. Alright. So this should do it here. We just have to get Azorius. And there it is. Alright, let's go to board. So this deck is obviously just incredibly sweet. So Farika's Cure seems to not be good against him. Neither does Heroes Reunion. Merciless Eviction, however, does seem very good, and so do the 4 Duress. Crackling Perimeter is also something we need to have. So then it's, what else do we take out? Well, Ultimate Price will be, from what we saw, his only creature was Ultimate Priceable. So I guess we can just take out Devour Fleshes. Because we do want all of our creatures in case something goes, like, crazy. Yeah, I mean, this concoction definitely looks fine. Alright. His hand looks good. I'll keep it. I'm gonna need to draw land at some point, but I mean we have our out Pithing Needle in our hand and our Maze's End. So there's not currently a lot more we can ask for. Bam, and we draw our land for Crackling Perimeter. This is my guess going to be another Angelic Wall. Although I can't promise you. My guess he also has those Nyx Fleece Rams, or Fleece Nyx Rams. Actually, no, he doesn't because the new set isn't out on Magic Online yet, but my guess is this is the deck that they would go in. Alrighty. Sweet, so we're going to play Selesnya Guildgate. That was actually probably wrong. Should have played Golgari Guildgate to keep Dreadbore up. My bad. We'll be playing Crackling Perimeter next turn. The good thing with Crackling Perimeter is we can actually just keep all of his Planeswalkers off of the field. So, that's a good thing. So yeah, I'm definitely a brewer at heart. I just love, like, making decks, having people use them and be like, wow, this thing is insane. It's kind of like where my heart lies. So, if you guys have any, like, cool, exciting brews you want to see me play, or you just want to like brag about, definitely leave them in the comments below, or tweet them to me. I'm at srubin93, I believe, or at samball49 or something like that. You can find it in the information below, but definitely tweet all your crazy deck suggestions at me, or just let me know in the comments. I would love to see, you know, whatever cool brews you guys are coming up with. So we're going to Golgari Guildgate, Maze's End. Gatecreeper Vine is really good at speeding up your clock a turn. So if you're at 8 lands, what you can do is you can play a 9th gate and then Maze's End, and when Maze's End comes back to your hand, it still checks to see if you have all the gates, so you lay the 10th gate from your deck, and then it checks, you never have to replay it, so you can use your land drop that turn to kind of speed things up. It also helps speed things up with well, quite obviously, it helps speed things up with Urban Evolution. It's pretty easy. Centaur Healer here. If he like plays a Jace and activates it, we'll just kill the Jace on the next turn. I mean, we may have to Maze's End. I mean, I'm sure we can. We can figure out a way to like Gate Creeper Vine, still play the land per turn, which is important, and then Dreadbore the Jace. That shouldn't be an issue, and we'll get to a place where we can just exile all creatures or all enchantments or something like that. So, Tidebinder Mage. Okay. So he's going to get in for 7 here. Okay, yeah, so we're simply going to play Gatecreeper Vine and then Dreadbore his Tidebinder Mage. We do wish to use this ability. Should probably actually go get a blue gate. Blue-red, blue-black. Blue-black in case we draw Freakus Care. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable line of play here. This is how you obviously beat the Maze's End deck, just applying pressure. Although we have enough removal and life gain to kind of just like withstand that. So the question is are we going to want to win through Crackling Perimeter or just naturally win the game? The reason being is that we can Merciless Eviction exiling all enchantments, exiling his Thassa next turn possibly. So that is why that is something we need to think about. Also, if we draw another Gatecreeper Vine, we can also just like Helix him and then start the beatdown Crackling Perimeter plan. That's also good. So we'll see where this game takes us. But yeah, I mean, so as along with Brews, also all of your possible like cool pre-release stories, like crazy things you did, like making 1024 power toughness hydras, all those types of things. I'd love to talk to you guys about. Those all interest me like a whole lot. So yeah, so now we just go on the gate plan. I mean, the one thing about this deck is it's a control deck, so we just have to keep drawing cards and making, or not really drawing cards, but like making land drops. That's very important. Do we want to attack Gideon down to 4 here? Actually, I don't think we're really in the spot to do that. Maybe next turn we will be, but not right now. Especially with his Mutavault being able to go active. I don't trust this. So this is a little sticky situation we got ourselves into, but the reason you have to activate Maze's End there is because the only way we're going to get out of it is if we have enough lands to play, the spells from our hand that actually get us out of it. So for instance, next turn we'd love to exile all Planeswalkers. But if we draw like a removal spell or something, we would also enjoy that. So this is the time to chump block. There's never been a better one. Duress. So do I be really, really greedy? Am I just going to be really greedy and try to get another gate? I actually think we can duress him here. Let's do that. Because we can kill Jace this turn if we need to. We can deal one with Crackling Perimeter and then War Leader's Helix it. Ooh. I'm going to take Detention Sphere, leave him Supreme Verdict. Tap this gate. So the question now is how... Okay, I don't want to redirect Gideon. I do want to redirect Jace. And then I want to... This is... Yeah, on Magic Online this is very difficult. Because you have to, like, redirect the damage manually to the Planeswalkers. You can't just say, like, attack Jace or leave you like Jace. So, it's a little tricky here, but we'll get it. So the reason I think this play is better... Alright, so the reason I think this play is better than tapping out for Merciless Eviction is that we also get to play Detention Sphere, which is huge. And we can still kill the Gideon if we need to. So Thassa is going to keep him in the game here. He's definitely in it. He needs another Jace. Supreme Verdict's not going to do it. Supreme Verdict just doesn't help him at all here. 10-10 Indestructible coming at me, bro. If we draw a land next turn... Oh, he's going to make it unblockable. That's sweet. So if we draw a land next turn, I'd actually be pretty happy with just playing the land and then exiling all Planeswalkers. So if I'm happy doing that, I maybe should have War Leader's Helix the Omen Speaker to, again, just keep Thassa off stuff. I don't know. Okay. Do that. We know one of his cards is Supreme Verdict. A Golgari Guildgate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna exile all Planeswalkers. So even though it's a land that we already have, the important part is that it's a land. So yeah, maybe I should have shot an Omen Speaker last turn. I'm not exactly sure. So I don't know what the card is in his hand. My guess it's like a Voyage's End or a Cyclonic Rift or something like that. But he's still only going to be able to hit us for a few points of damage. We're not raising him with damage, I don't think. So there's no need to attack with that Centaur Healer. We're going to play Ceruli Gatekeepers next turn, which is going to be huge for us. Should actually put the game we're going to get to play Ceruli Gatekeepers. I should put the game out of reach. Actually, next turn we may need to play Centaur Healer and then activate Maze's End. So he has like one more turn with which to like just absolutely annihilate us. If he, you know, I know he has a Supreme Verdict, but if he's able to like, okay, if he's able to play something, get through with his Mutavault, and then like play something to activate his Thassa the next turn with the blue pips used from this turn as well, and then activate his Thassa. I don't know. I feel like we're like very close to being dead here, even with knowing one card in his hand. And so I'm just trying to like figure out the best way around them all, I guess. And that best way is just making land drops. Love to hit a land here. No land. All right, so we're gonna play Centaur Healer. So we have to keep 1, 2, 3 up. So we're gonna like this. We're going to get around... We can get a Rakdos Guildgate, that's fine. We play this, we play Centaur Healer. So let's say he plays Jace and an Omen Speaker activates Thassa. Okay. So at this point, we may be on the Crackling Perimeter plan. Is it safe to attack? Actually, it's safe to attack here, okay. I believe that is the conclusion I've come to. Attacking with Centaur Healers. I'm actually thinking about playing a white-green Hate Bears brew at some point within the next week. Not necessarily online, but at SCG IQ I'm trying to go to. It's like Voice of Resurgences, Soldier of the Pantheons, Loxodon Smiters, things of that like sort. It's fairly good from what I've gathered and play tested with it. But Centaur Healer is definitely a card I'm considering for the sideboard, just against the aggro burn matchups. So I guess it hasn't totally left competitive play altogether. Alright, so this is pretty good. We're going to be able to play Cerulean Gatekeepers and activate Maze's End or hit him for 4. He's actually dead in 2 turns, so I'm just going to hit him for 4. Yeah, he's on a quicker damage thing. Wow, no, he's gonna die to damage a lot sooner than he's gonna die to anything else. So this seems to be a good plan. I know it's not a sorcery. I know I can do it on his turn when he plays a Planeswalker, but I really just don't think there's any way for him to win this game. So I'm not sure it matters, although I should probably be playing correctly right now. We only have 8 gates? Oh, that's so depressing. Alright, well, if he lets the Cerulean Gatekeepers hit him at all, I guess he's dead. Or there's one turn where we could have attacked with a Centaur Healer, or we didn't. That would have also been the difference, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. This deck is a load to play. It is just grindy and slow, and against aggressive decks, you really have to work to turn the corner. So, yep. So that's where the Crackling Perimeter comes into play. He can actually bubble the Crackling Perimeter. I'm sure he did that. Oh, activate Cerulean Gatekeepers. That was not correct. It's permanent, so he could have actually... Wow, okay. So now, without wasting the Dreadbore, we're going to just kill the Kiora. And then we should be able to Gatecreeper Vine and Cerulean Gatekeepers here and play a land. So we should be in very good shape, even if he does top deck his best card here, which is Supreme Verdict or whatever. I'll get something we don't have, which is Azorius. Play Azorius. Play Cerulean Gatekeepers just to know that we're not dying anytime soon. And yeah, that should be game when we untap. Bam. Alright, that's pretty much how you win a match with this deck. I'm going to play a few more, and so I'll see you guys for the next one.